Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the NWA Hour of Power podcast. We're back for another episode. Episode 6 on Roku and episode 6 for our new beginning as well. If you're tuning in, you're probably getting a double dose of us. I forgot to drop last week's video promo. I will drop that as well as this one. So you're going to get a double dose. As we evolve this show before we begin, I was talking to my crew. We're going to be taking some different steps and kind of changing the format of this podcast to make it more entertaining for you guys, where it's not just we're pigeonholed to a review show and our thoughts on the review show, because mainly we're all impressed by Roku lately and we're all NWA fans, and yes, we critique some stuff here and there, but I think this show has some room to grow, especially with it now being on video on the YouTube channel. Of course, if you just like listening to us on audio, you get it uncut, no commercials, no nothing. It's just us talking. That's all you do is you hear our voice, and that's it. And if you like listening to us on audio, you're going to continue to do that on Spotify. But we're trying to make our YouTube channel a little bit bigger, and we're trying to have some fun on our YouTube channel. We've got some segments that are going to be coming up in the next few weeks, like our NWA promo tournament, where 32 people compete in a promo tournament, and it's decided by judges that I have picked out, and former professional wrestlers are going to be doing some judging. And then, of course, if we have guest on this show, we'll probably ask them to do some judging, but we're gonna start doing the promo tournament in the next couple of weeks. We've already done a few matchups. Everybody knows it. That's on our Gorilla Press Pro page, but we're going to start bringing them to you, the NWA audience. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to find out in the next few weeks, where two people compete against each other in smack talk, and whoever has the best promo, the most entertaining promo to us, will move on into the NWA tournament. Now, at the end of the NWA tournament, they will be crowned the official NWA promo heavyweight champion. So big stuff coming up with that. We'll also have ads here because we do have people who are sponsoring the show, and so we'll have that up here as well, like JD Productions. We also have Mike Daly, who goes with me and Logan to all of the shows. He plays a character out there in Jasper and LJ. He is a haunted he's the butcher. He comes after you. They're doing reality shows on this guy. He's getting B-roll movies. That's what I'm saying. Like, this guy he's living the dream. We're going to put his stuff up on here as well. And then just maybe some fun little segments that me and the crew might put together, or something that's NWA related. So it's not going to be just a review show. Just to let you know, we're here to entertain you all the way around. It's going to be a lot of fun, but we will also review Power. We're just going to be doing it in a lot quicker format. And this week we will start to evolve this new format as we go into our NWA Power review. So let's jump right into it, because this week it is all about tag teams, and it is all about the Crockett Cup as they continue to push that. And the first matchup being Exodus Pro, the territory out of Cleveland, Ohio. EC3, Pretty Boy Smooth, taking on the Colognes. Everybody knows of the Colognes from their WWE heyday, and of course they've been everywhere around the world. Colognes are going to pick up the victory here. So the Colognes getting a strong push here in the Crockett Cup as they go over. Guys, let's get your quick reactions to this matchup and what you thought of it. Katie, we'll start with you.
I so badly wanted EC3 to win. I so badly wanted that. I love watching him in the ring as an individual, but as a tag partner, I've just really enjoyed seeing, I guess, this side of him. And every time somebody says the Colognes, I'm like, the Collins? So
I always think of them and Carlito when I think of the Colognes. Like,
yes,
damn, now
yes.
Carlito's a free agent. Wouldn't that be kind of something too?
Oh,
if he were to pop up, even if he was just managing them, that would be great.
He just randomly shows up in the audience, and everybody's like, ah!
Oh, yeah. He takes a bite out of the apple, spits it in the
Yes.
face of the opponents of the Colognes. That would be awesome. That would be a great way to
If
introduce them
they
in
make it,
NWA.
if they make it to the final and NWA can't make that happen, I'm gonna be real sad. Okay.
Well, that I believe that is the yeah, that would be in the
That's them going
finals.
to the final. Yeah.
Yes, Colognes are in the finals now. These are the semifinals, so they
Oh,
have
that's right.
knocked out
Yeah.
EC3. So I kind of agree with you there, Katie. Before we move on and let Logan get his thoughts on the match, I'll get my thoughts on the match. I like the Colognes going over here. I like to see EC3. I think he's a big time player on your roster. I would rather see him in a singles push where he's still gunning for that heavyweight championship. But I totally understand he's getting the, Pretty Boy Smooth is getting the rub from his mentor here, EC3. And he's getting to throw out Exodus Pro there and really getting to kind of throw his territory out there for
Yeah.
everybody to see. So I kind of get the pairing, and it was a nice Crockett Cup run there. Got all the way to the semifinals, but now being put out. So now I want to see something different from EC3, even if he's still got Pretty Boy Smooth in his corner. And
That
what is
would
the
be fun.
preacher's name? I am so stupid. What's the preacher's name? Uh, Jeeves? No, that's
Uh,
I can't remember. Anyways, he's great too. Don't get me wrong. He's a great mouthpiece for them. I'd like to see them do something else, though. Maybe not gunning for the tag belts, but maybe just a faction where they're going after a baby face, a big name baby
Absolutely.
face. Maybe even Alex Hammerstone after he gets done with the Southern Six. Logan, let's get your thoughts on this matchup.
I think it was a good matchup. It was entertaining, if nothing else. But the whole purpose of this matchup, let's face it, was putting out that Pretty Boy Smooth is a monster when he wants to be. He's comedic when he wants to be, and he can
Yeah.
wrestle when he wants to. And I think really, you mentioned a singles run, and with any good tag team, you have that eventual rub where you start having issues with each other. And I feel like the whole purpose of this is get to a point where EC3 takes the 3 count from Pretty Boy Smooth and puts his boy over to kind of push him into the big leagues. And I think that's where this eventually falls. Now, that's just me guessing, but, it seems like that's a natural progression.
Yeah, and that's I can definitely see all that happen. We know Billy Corgan loves his big guys. He loves his big boys.
He's
He
got
loves
big
his
guys
Alex
on this.
Hammerstones, his Thrill Billies, Talos, um, Pretty Boy Smooth. He said in multiple interviews he loves the big guy versus the big guy,
Yeah.
and like he even brought up at one point Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar. He said he was glued to his TV watching that matchup in WWE. So yeah, I could see Billy's look. He's always looking for the next, like, just larger than life kind of character. And Pretty Boy Smooth showing that he's got a wide range of characters that he can kind of play. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. I think it was the right call to get the Colognes the win here. They are a very established traditional tag team, and you just had them come in. You haven't done much with them, and now you are actually doing something with them. So I totally agree with the call to put the Colognes over here and put them into the finals. Now, as far as other stuff, they kind of gave us some window dressing on this show as far as, like, it's only 2 matches. So we got basically a hype for Rhino and Tom Latimer, which is coming up. We're going to finally see the NWA World Champion on Roku coming up. I believe it is next week, if
Next
I'm not
week.
mistaken. Yes.
Yeah.
Next week for the heavyweight championship right there in the Philadelphia ECW arena. You're going to get Rhino taking on Tom Latimer for the NWA Championship. They hype that up. Nice little hype package. They continue to remind us of stuff that's happened throughout the last few weeks. We've we've beat that to death on how much we like that, and that's a much needed improvement with these video packages and how they're keeping us updated on NWA Power, especially somebody new who's coming in to watching NWA Power. These
Yes.
package videos are very, very important
Well,
to
and
any new viewers as well.
sometimes I'll be talking to somebody who's like, I don't watch wrestling. And I'm like, "Oh, let me explain this whole bloodline thing."
Mm-hmm.
And 10 years later, I'm done explaining it to them and they're like, "Well, now I'm all caught up." And I'm like, "No, you're not, because there was just another
Always
episode."
evolving, yeah.
So, I love that that they're they're able to do this, and you know, we've said it a million times, keep these people fresh in our head. But anytime I see Tom Latimer come on the screen, I'm like, what's he gonna say?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. He comes
yeah,
off as a very real person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something fake about Tom Latimer. He's been a great champion so far.
he
We
comes
get
right on
more.
the screen, and there he is.
Yeah,
Who
he
do we
gets
think is
great
winning
promos.
this?
He looks like $1,000,000 too.
He does.
Thrill Billy, we get more hype behind him as far as, like I said, extra stuff on the show. Not much here. We always, we know how great Thrill Billy is. They continue to push him. Something is big in the cards for Thrill Billy. So let's move on to the main event. We got Immortals going over Knox and Murdoch. These were two heavy hitting tag teams. You might hear my dogs in the background. Like I said, we're dog sitting. I told y'all off the air we're dog sitting, unfortunately. Immortals go over on Knox and Murdoch and advance to the finals. So we have the Colognes and we have the Immortals in the finals of the Crockett tournament. So let's get your thoughts on this, guys. Logan, we'll start with you this time. Immortals going over Knox and Murdoch. What did you think of this matchup?
Man, what a way to do a heel turn. That was that was messy. You didn't.
It was kind of out of nowhere, wasn't it?
It was, and my favorite part was you didn't really know if uh if they were on the same page the whole time. One minute you have Trevor Murdoch going nuts, and Mike Knox is sitting back and looking at him like, hey, stop, calm down, whatever. And then he goes just as crazy, and I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It was
It just
different.
it really was a good way of having the Immortals go over on the tag team champions without taking any of the rocket power out of the champions. So I think it was really the only option unless you were going to hand the Crockett Cup to Murdoch and Knox.
I got to be honest with you. In my opinion, I would like to see the tag belts get off Knox and Murdoch, because even back in the old days when me and Knighton were talking it over, when I was doing my fantasy booking and he was giving me shit over it, I still think that Trevor Murdoch has a great heel run to go towards Tom Latimer or whoever may be champion, or even just something different. I still feel like Trevor Murdoch has that last run in him, whether he's chasing, for the title. I just think he's got this viciousness, this mean streak. He looks like a mean dude. He looks like a guy you
Yeah.
don't want to mess with. He's a great heel. Can we turn him? Can we turn him and have him? You know what I'm saying? Like turn on Knox, beat Knox, and then go for a world title run. I'm
For years
fantasy
now.
booking right now, but yeah.
Yeah, for
I would
years
like
now. He's been slimming down. He's starting to get some muscle mass build up. I think that's what he's preparing for. They're getting ready to give him, at the very least, a final run, at the world title picture. Now, where does that leave Mike Knox, though? Because, Mike Knox is younger and
Yeah.
everything.
Well, I mean, eventually you can have. I mean, without going into great detail, but you could have that feud kind of keep going, like as far as like him just kind of like having a match with Knox, takes him out. He goes on this hill run. Knox can end up screwing him back, getting the win back or whatever. But that would be a great. They've had a rivalry before. They've faced off for the NWA championship before. I
Yeah.
think you have so many tag teams, so much depth. The depth that I'm having a problem seeing is the world title picture. You have depth in almost every division that you have. You really do. In the television title hunt, tremendous depth. Tag team, tremendous depth. National championship, tremendous depth. Light heavyweight, decent depth. But let's just say, I'm just saying, the World Heavyweight Championship, you got Tom Latimer, and you got like Thrillbilly, and you got some people you've been flirting with. Why
Yeah.
not put an established competitor like Trevor Murdoch in that world title picture? Give him a mean streak, give him a viciousness. Hey, I'm at the end of my career somewhat. I'm going to go all out, and I'm going to be the nastiest heel in this company. I think he's got it in him, man. I really do.
But you can also say that with so many of them, because if you think back, have we not talked about, Katie wants to see EC3 back in that title picture?
Yeah,
I'm
that.
talking, hey, they're building Pretty Boy Smooth towards that. And then you take, in a couple of weeks back, we're talking, hey, I want to see Talos in that. So
Yeah,
here's the problem. You've
that's
got
some
all
good
these
homegrown talent.
great tag teams, and we talk about the depth of the tag team division, but here we're trying to bust them up and throw them into the. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think
I
I think
definitely
they
get your
have.
point for sure.
Yeah, I
I
think they
don't
have.
think that Talos, which they have flirted with that already, so maybe they
Mhm.
are leaning towards
Mhm.
that right
Yeah,
now. But I'm not really wanting to bust up EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth. I just would
not
like to
yet.
see them as a unit, maybe even bring in more people from Exodus and form this faction where they prop EC3 up as this as their heel champion or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm not really wanting to bust them up. It looks like Daisy Kill and Talos is headed towards that very, very soon. But I still think you got so much depth as far as tag teams. And then you got to
Yeah.
look at the territories where there's a lot of tag teams that we don't even know about that exist that they're probably going to bring in. They've got so much depth in the tag division. They have 2 tag titles. I don't know any other wrestling company that has that. I mean, well, if you kept the SmackDown Raw tag
Yeah,
belts or
but
whatever, I guess.
that's
Yeah,
really
but
two separate
They're too
yeah,
shows.
big
you hear me, and they
brands.
don't have a tremendous amount of depth, in my opinion, like
Not enough for.
NWA does.
No.
All right, so that wraps up our NWA on Roku Power Review on episode 6. Pretty good episode this week. I'm really looking forward to next week, and I think we got 2 more episodes until they're out of the ECW arena and they're done with the Crockett Cup. So that brings me to my next question for you guys as we change up the format here on the show. What are your thoughts on the Crockett Cup so far that we've watched here on Roku? Let's start with you, Katie.
There have been a couple of matches that I'd like to see the other team win, especially Talos and Daisy Kill, because I like watching them. And EC3, I'd like to see him go on, but you've got these giant men in these tag teams that are going to be in the finals. I couldn't tell you right now because I don't look at spoilers, but I couldn't tell you right now who's going to win this because I was so impressed by the level of talent in the Crockett Cup. Week
Yeah.
after week after week, it was just another good match, and you know, you kind of
They
have
had
an
great tag
idea.
teams this go
Yes.
around. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it's the typical tag team stuff, but it's still done in a different way, if that makes
Right.
sense. And
Logan, what
it was just so much fun to watch.
Logan, what are your thoughts on the Crockett Cup so far?
I think that it's been a really good uh uh tag team event, and I think the thing about it is that it's been a consistent swerve. You didn't expect the slime balls to win. You expected Knox and Murdoch to win.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these swerves, and it's like, hey, you're not gonna guess the outcome on it, and I'm impressed with that. When you can swerve on wrestling nowadays, it's pretty impressive. So, he's able to keep that under his hat, and Billy's doing a great job, I think. I think he's honoring what the Crockett Cup originally was all about, and he's shining a light on these tag teams, and I think that's fantastic because there's nobody else doing it.
It really isn't. Tag team wrestling is not focused like it used to be. NWA, if you look at MLW, you look at AEW, the AEW has shown at times that they have a strong, deep tag division. Not so much now. WWE, I'm not super impressed with their tag division either. This is like, and these feel like tag teams, like Katie has brought up in recent weeks, where they just get two singles wrestlers together, they throw them together, they do the whole comedy thing where I don't like you, you don't like me, let's team together, and you know what I'm
Enemy
saying?
of
Like
my enemy.
it's that format in WWE. I don't like some. I mean, it's okay every once in a while, but it's like, I mean, you've done it so many times. Um, so the tag division being so deep here in NWA, it's nice and refreshing to see homegrown talent from NWA as well. Yes, you get some traditional um, veteran tag teams like the Colognes that are in here to establish, how big this Crockett Cup is, and you brought in some great tag teams as well. But ultimately, NWA is really focusing in on their homegrown talent here in this Crockett Cup. As I look at EC3, Pretty Boy Smooth, a homegrown talent in my book. Um, and then, of course, the Immortals, another one. Talus and Daisy Kill, the Slime Balls, uh, Blunt Force Trauma, who didn't have a very long run in the Crockett Club, but you're getting an idea of how many tag teams are in this league, how many tag teams are in the NWA, and there are a lot, and there are going to be even more with this territory. You got Texas, New Mexico, two territories in Tennessee, one in Cleveland, Ohio. So everything's looking great. They're doing a great job. I can't get over how great the booking has been, and it makes sense to a certain degree. My biggest complaint: we got to get away from these tapings that are months and months apart. This
Yeah.
Crockett Cup happened, I believe, in late May. We
Late
are
May,
in
early June.
September. So that means, guys, when we're watching the Halloween show that me and Logan are going to be attending, we might be
It'll be
watching that
next
around
year.
Christmas time. Christmas time. We're going to be watching
Maybe
the Halloween.
even next year.
Maybe even
Some
next
of
year. Exactly.
But what are
What?
they gonna show us in between the end of the Crockett Cup and Samhain?
Probably a Tampa taping. Is what I'm guessing. They had done a Tampa taping around July, I believe.
Mm.
So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know how you get around it. I know it's saving money. I think it's definitely the main reason we haven't seen Knighton make an appearance yet. That's his biggest complaint,
Yeah.
and I tend to agree with him.
Yeah.
And I'm going to beat it over the head because I want somebody to finally do something about it eventually. If enough NWA fans have an outcry about this, you know what I'm saying?
Well, and
It's
even
If
if
it was just like 2 or 3 weeks, I wouldn't even be complaining that much. But it's
right,
like months. It's
right.
months and months.
If they taped this end of May, let's say they took 2 weeks for production, just as a buffer, and then maybe they split it up into 3 shows instead of 6.
There's got to be some way to do this. I don't, like I said, once you get caught up, I would love to see, hey, make some money on pay-per-view for me. I'll pay for the pay-per-view. I want to
Yeah.
pay.
I would pay for an
I'm
NWA
willing to
pay per
pay.
view.
Throw
I would pay for that.
if you would have threw NWA 77 somewhere where I could have watched it on YouTube, Thriller,
Yes.
whatever you wanted to put it on, I would have bought
Yes.
that thing in a New York minute. But it is what it is. We're beating a dead horse, and we've ran out of time this week. Guys, I appreciate you being on this week. Enjoy the double shot of the Hour of Power podcast. I'm wearing my Mims t-shirt. I'm representing. He's one of my favorites. We'll get around to just discussing. As the format changes, you'll see we're just going to talk about talent that we like and things that we love about NWA as well. But guys, thank you for being on tonight. Thank you, Logan, Frazier, and thank you, Katie, for being on the NWA Power. And we'll see you next week.
Have a good one.